Well, welcome everyone to this
Tantissimo.
interview. We are doing an interview this afternoon with Hunter Dean. For those of you that haven't had the chance to meet Hunter, Hunter is the VP of Production and Operations at Asea. If you ever go to visit the facility, Hunter is the person that will give you the tour. And I've had the pleasure of having him tour me through the facility multiple times, and I always learn something every time. So his background, just so you know, he has a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from Brigham Young University. He has been with Asea for coming on 5 years and is an absolute wealth of knowledge. So we are going to jump right into the meat of things since we had a little bit of technical challenges getting started. So Hunter, I'm going to dive in with our first question. Thank you for being here. And can you just share with everybody a brief introduction to what Asea is and how it is made?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me. It's great to be with everybody. Asea is very unique in the market. Asea is what's called a redox signaling molecule supplement. And what Asea does is it uses compounds that are native to your body, redox signaling molecules, to help your body take care of your body. The redox signaling molecules are signals that the cells use to communicate with each other. And the cells communicate with each other to make sure that they are performing the functions necessary to maintaining your health. And it helps your body to respond to stress and maintain your overall wellness. So that's kind of the gist of what Asea is and how it works. Now, how we make it, we have a patented proprietary electrochemical process that we use to manufacture these redox signaling molecules. And these molecules are tiny, high energy molecules. So they're very reactive, they're very unstable. And so we have to do some proprietary steps to maintain the stability of the product so that it can be used as a supplement.
Beautiful. And I just want to remind you, Hunter, that Sylvie and Roberto are simultaneously translating. So the slower we talk, the better for them. I know they know the gist of how Asea is made and have been able to share that. So let's dive into the next question, which I think is a big one. You know, Asea has our flagship technology, the Asea liquid, but we now have these powered by Redox, the Redox Performance products. Can you explain to us the difference between the Redox signaling technology and the powered by Redox technology?
Yeah, absolutely. So where our technology, our flagship technology and products exist are in the redox signaling molecule space. So they contain those redox signaling molecules that we talked about. Those signaling molecules are used by the body to create cell signaling and to help the body respond to stress. The other side of the technology is cell performance. Cell performance leverages botanical ingredients, things like NMN in the mind, things like guarana in the energy. And these ingredients stimulate redox reactions in the body. So on one side, we have redox signaling molecules, which signal through redox pathway, or using redox signaling molecules, they signal cellular communication. On the other side, for cell performance, we're stimulating redox reactions in the body with natural botanical ingredients.
I've often thought about it like with the cell performance, it's kind of like a very specific light switch that we're flicking on. Is that a good way to think about it? Like we're dialing in a very specific light switch. And with our Asea Redox, it's more like we're just adding electricity to the system and then everything's kind of coming in. Is that a good way to think about it?
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. One of the key words that we try and use with redox signaling molecule-based products is the cascade effect, right? When you turn one cell on, it begins to signal to the cells around it. Those cells signal to the cells around them, creating that cascade or domino effect. And so that's kind of turning the power on to the entire house, so to speak. Whereas cell performance, instead of a cascade effect, is a targeted outcome. So I'm trying to turn the lights on in a specific room.
Beautifully said. Now, we just got back from our global convention, and I heard you speak on stage multiple times and bring up some of the members of the medical board. And you guys were sharing some pretty cool new research. And I know Asea has invested like $1 million in new research and development. Can you share with us some of the exciting research that has come out about our products?
Yes, absolutely. So one thing I do want to emphasize, and you hinted it here, is ASEA invests heavily in university research. A significant portion of our operating budget every single year is allocated to university and lab studies to support the validity and to help show the benefits of the product. So two of the studies that we talked about from convention this year, there was one in the medical professional science behind redox session, and there was one presented from general session from the main stage. The general session portion was talking about specifically NRF2. NRF2 is a gene. It's considered to be the master switch for the body to combat inflammation and oxidative stress. So the reason that's important is we talk about something central to being able to maintain your health and wellness is your body's ability to combat stress and respond to stress. So the NRF2 is the main switch, the master switch, we call it, to responding to that stress and reducing inflammation. So in the study, we had 2 universities test Asea Redox supplement and Renew 28 independently. The 2 universities were the University of Bath in England and the University of Western Sydney in Australia. They tested both in vitro studies, and we found that both products, Renew 28 and Asea Redox supplement, both upregulated the NRF2 pathway, that master switch to combating inflammation and oxidative stress, by 40 to 60%, depending on the individual studies that were pursued. So you are upregulating the main resource your body has to combat inflammation and stress by 40 to 60%.
That's incredible. I want to pause there, make sure Joe and Sylvie can catch up to us, and also for everyone to just really understand what that alone means for the body. Because if you think about inflammation, it is the underlying cause of most disease and illness, I would put forth. And you're calling this the master switch because it is so powerful to be able to regulate inflammation, right? To be able to go in and help the body innately deal with that and get back to balance. And what he's saying is that between 40 and 60% upregulation of this NRF2 pathway that helps the system deal with inflammation. So that's huge. Yes, Colette, NRF2. So Hunter, I will let you carry on from here about the other research.
Sure. So that was only one study that we performed. The other one that we released from the Science Behind Redox session has to do with longevity. So again, and it would make sense that if you're contributing to NRF2, which is the main switch to combat inflammation and stress, and if stress is related to many illnesses, if you can prevent those illnesses by improving your body's response to stress via the NRF2 pathway, that's going to contribute to longevity. So it was really exciting to get the results for the NRF2, but it was kind of a validation of sorts to have the longevity study results come out the way that they did. So what we did was we used a type of worm called C. elegans. These worms are widely recognized and recognized as a good standard for testing for products that are used in humans. That's largely because they share a lot of the DNA with human DNA. So they're recognized as a global standard to test products. So what we did is we exposed C. elegans in a Petri dish to Asea Redox supplement. And we had 3 groups. We had the control group that received no Asea Redox supplement. We had a group that received a large dose of Asea Redox supplement only at the beginning. And then we had a group that was exposed to the Asea Redox supplement multiple times per week. So no Asea, 1 dose of Asea, multiple times per week. And what we found was that the worms that received only 1 dose of Asea up front saw a minor increase in longevity over the first couple of days, but there was really no trend line showing significant difference between the controlled group afterwards. What was interesting was when we go to and look at the C. elegans or the worms that were exposed multiple times per week, we saw a dramatic increase in the longevity of these worms. These worms don't live very long. They live 25 to 30-ish days. And we saw a 3-day increase on the lifespan of the worms that were treated multiple times with Asea. That's a 10% increase in longevity. So 3 days doesn't seem significant to us, but 3 days in the life of a worm is very significant. So yeah, absolutely. One thing that we were curious about was, okay, well, how is this affecting the worms? How is it increasing longevity? And one of the main components of the contribution to the increase in longevity was neuroprotection. And so that's a whole new area of research that we're going to be digging into, is neurological effects and neuroprotection, because we sequenced the genome on the C. elegans after they died, and we saw that a lot of the genes tied
Hunter.
to, yes.
Roberto and our translators are asking to just slow so they can catch up.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm trying. These are big technical words. I'll do my best here to slow down. I apologize.
Let me also maybe just recap to get the punchline of what you're saying. So basically this study, if you take Asea 1 time, or maybe for a day, like in the 1 group, the impact really wasn't there, right? There was not a big difference between taking Asea once and the group that just didn't take Asea. Okay. So what we saw was that when you gave Asea multiple times over the lifespan of the worm, its longevity increased by 10%. So it lived 10% longer than on average. That's powerful. I mean, if we think about the human lifespan, what's an average lifespan? I don't know. I want to live to be 100. So that could give me 10 more years. Like if I were to extrapolate, right, connect a dot, which I know it's not a perfect correlation, but that's essentially what it's saying. In the worm, it was 3 days, which maybe doesn't seem like a lot, but in a 30-day lifespan, that's huge. And you extrapolate to longer, that can be years for us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and you touched on it, but it's not a perfect correlation, but because the DNA is shared and it's accepted as a standard, there is a correlation in longevity. And one of the most significant findings was that it was neuroprotection that was contributing to that longevity. And so that will be a new area of research that we will be moving into, is neuroprotection, neurological effects, and how does it benefit those functions.
Well, I can speak from experience. It certainly helps neurological issues. That's why I was interested in Asea, because of an injury I had to my head. So that's beautiful. Anything else you can kind of tease us with any research that maybe is coming?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. A lot of cool things are coming. What I would say is the Torre lab studies in 2017 gave some hints into what we need to look at next. During general session, we put a slide up that showed 15 different proposed pathways. We chose one, and that led to this NRF2 study. So there are a lot of keys on the keyboard, so to speak, that Asea uses to benefit health. And we will be looking into those pathways currently and in the future.
That's beautifully said. I often say, look, NRF2 it's one key on the piano. It's a powerful key. It's a master key. But this product doesn't just target that. It hits that key and many others. And so it's exciting to think the research that will be coming out in the years and the decades to come will just be showing us more and more all the different keys that this is hitting. And I think, we see it in the field all the time. I hear experiences all the time from people, so varied, because redox hits so many keys on the piano.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the last question I have for you and discussion I want to have is the new products that are coming out in Europe. And they're a ton of fun. We got to play with them at convention. I've had the blessing of having them here in the US. So we have a mask and we have Redox Radiance. Let's start with the mask, because this is part of the cell signaling technology, right? So can you talk to us about how this is similar to and both different than our Renew 28 Redox gel, and what this mask is really gonna help with?
Yeah. So this is the first clay mask in the world to contain redox signaling molecules. No other clay mask does what this clay mask does. The Redox Clay Mask contains a similar number of redox signaling molecules to that of Renew 28. The benefit of the clay mask is the bentonite acts to clean the skin and to extract that dirt and oil from the skin, while simultaneously delivering the redox signaling molecules. Now, there's a beautiful synergy that happens between the Renew 28 and the clay mask products. What happens is if you think about these tiny redox molecules, we know they work through absorption. And if they work through absorption, that means your skin needs to absorb them to get the benefit. But your skin is also full of dirt and oil. And this dirt and oil can cause a barrier to the absorption of the redox signaling molecules. We know that high energy, tiny redox molecules are highly reactive. So they will react with that oil and dirt in the skin and be prevented from being absorbed. And so the synergy that occurs is that the Redox Clay Mask removes that barrier to absorption for the Renew 28 thereafterwards. And so not only is the clay mask a powerful redox signaling molecule product, it can be used synergistically with additive benefits with Renew 28 if you use Renew 28 after the clay mask.
And it's powerful. Speaking from experience, like Renew 28, you can see impacts within 28 days. right? Sometimes before, but 28 days. With the clay mask, it's like minutes. Like you see a shift in your skin like that. It is so profound. And I've gotten creative. I've used it on other things. And it's wonderful. I live out in the woods. I get bit by things all the time. And when I put the clay mask on there, it seems to draw out and the redox gets in, and I find that irritation goes down. So like all redox products, lots of ways to use it. I've seen people put it on their hands, on their feet, and see beautiful things happen with their skin there. So guys, get your hands on this mask. You will love it. Take a picture before you do it. And it will surprise you what you see just 10 minutes later when you take it off. So we now have, I think of it like a trifecta. We've got Renew 28, which helps like in the short term, 28 days. We've got the clay mask that helps immediately. And then we also now have Redox Radiance, which is a collagen support product. The collagen helping with hair, skin, and nails. And I think of that like on the long term. The longer you take that, the better your nails are, your skin, your hair. So it's a real trifecta for the skin. Talk to us about Redox Radiance. How is this different than other collagens? What does it mean to be a collagen that is vegan? Didn't think that was possible. And share with everybody what the power is in this Redox Radiance product.
Sure. So how it's different from other collagen products is traditional collagen products will basically provide your body an animal form of collagen. And what your body then has to do is break that collagen down into something called amino acids. And there are several steps in that process. And then once it's into amino acids, the body has to then reconstruct through several steps to recreate its own form of collagen. Your body is not able to use the animal form of collagen. So it has to break it down into amino acids, and then it has to create its own collagen. So what we have done with Redox Radiance is we skip that breakdown step, and we provide the amino acids that are necessary to construct the collagen that your body needs. And so it's a much more efficient process. Mm-hmm. And all of these amino acids are provided through plant-based means. So it can be a vegan solution to collagen. In addition to that, where we're skipping that front step, where the body doesn't have to break it down, we provide ingredients that support using those amino acids at each step to create the collagen. Things like zinc, copper, vitamin C even, all support the formation of collagen fibers from amino acids. There are some other ingredients in the product. Delphinol is a powerful, powerful antioxidant that helps your skin respond to stress. The rice ceramide helps to improve your skin's hydration, and the health of the collagen fibers as you make them are supported by that rice ceramide and the hydration that it provides.
Amazing. So this is so smart to make something that doesn't require you to have to break anything down. I know some collagens hurt the stomach because you're breaking down cowhide and all sorts of things. Now we just start with the building blocks. Anybody can use them. The body knows what to do with them. It's just goes straight into what we want. And I think the moral of the story here from what I'm hearing from this time with you today, Hunter, is that Asea is invested in doing the best research that they can to prove the power of our redox signaling technology, but they are also invested in making the best products, up-leveling what is out there in the marketplace. A mask with redox signaling molecules, a collagen support in a way that has never been done before and is incredibly powerful. The results I'm seeing with that are super exciting. Like watching hair growth come back with people, seeing issues with nails getting resolved, and it tastes amazing. It tastes really, really good. So from us in the field to you at the home office, thank you for the dedication to research. Thank you for the dedication to making powerful products so we can all look radiant, feel radiant. And thank you for your time to come and share with us today and connect with everybody through multiple languages and across the world. Thank you so much, Hunter.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Danielle. And translators, thank you so much. Hope I didn't make it too hard on you.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate your time. The recordings will be up both in Spanish, in French, and of course, this one in English is already live on Asea United. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and a beautiful evening for those of you over in Europe.